It's time for the Drugless Doctor. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and life-changing program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Dr. Anthony, and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria. I'd like to welcome you once again to another episode of the Drugless Doctor. You know, when people come into our office, most of the time they come to see us because they want to get well, they may have some pain, but we have a layer of people just like you watching us right now that want to, quote unquote, detoxify. You hear it all the time. Any time of the year, people want to detoxify. It's kind of like they want to live a life of reckless abandon, come in, and then all of a sudden be happy and healthy. Well, it's a process. What we want to talk to you about today is the process. Some of the items that we do, some of the strategies that we have. We have individuals all the time that come in with a variety of challenges. You know, recently I had one lady that came into the office that she was suffering with a lot of discomfort. She was this close, that close to having her gallbladder removed. The gallbladder is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of your liver. So if you've had your gallbladder removed, I would strongly encourage you to get a book that I have on detoxification and learn about what you need to do. Because when you have the gallbladder yanked out of your body, it alters function of detoxification and optimal health and healing. So we have a lot we're going to discuss with you tonight. I know it'll make a huge difference. Dr. Anthony.
So always the first question is, why are a group of chiropractors talking about detoxification? Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. So if you don't know anything about chiropractic, it's very, very simple. The brain sits in the skull. It continues as the spinal cord. Off of the spinal cord comes nerves. Now, think of the skull and the spine as a protective mechanism. Do you ever remember watching a movie of medieval times and there was a knight and that knight had armor on? Well, the armor is meant to protect the knight from not getting injured from a sword. So our skull and our spine protect the delicate nerves, the brain, the spinal cord, because they're constantly sending messages to every muscle, organ, tissue, and gland in your body. If your spine goes out of position, in chiropractic, we call that subluxation. The word subluxation sounds large, but it's very simple. Sub means less, lux means energy. There's less energy getting to where those nerves are going. So it could be the thyroid gland, it could be the heart, it could be the lungs, it could be the colon. It could be a bunch of different factors if the brain's not communicating properly to the body. Now, when anybody comes and sees us and we work with them chiropractically, the most important part is allowing that brain to body connection. One of the other most important organs in the body has to be the liver. One of the reasons why the liver is so important, the liver has thousands and thousands of different functions, but it is our main detoxifying organ inside the body. It's also the main organ that creates proteins, the main organ that creates hormones. So you really want your liver working at 100%. Now, what are some things that can cause the liver to not work at 100%? One of them are environmental toxins. Environmental toxins are so detrimental to our bodies, you might not even have any idea. You could be someone that works in a factory and you're inhaling fumes from some of the equipment that you're around. That's an environmental factor. You could live by a power plant. That's an environmental factor. You could be a farmer spraying on plants. That's an environmental factor. You could be a stay-at-home mom and you're using cleaning products that you're inhaling. That's an environmental factor. There's so many different environmental factors that can be affecting your body. Now, it's really interesting. There's some facts when it comes to pesticides. Now, there is a study that was put out by the United States government that said 35% of foods have some sort of pesticide residue on them. Now, what that means is vegetables grown out in the field, and farmers, if they're not organic, are spraying them. So there's skull and crossbones on them on the field, but then magically they're not skull and crossbones when they're in the grocery store. Those are toxic things that are sprayed on those vegetables. Now, when you consume that, your body, especially your liver, has to work overtime in order to get the detoxification pathways working properly. So it's not just herbicides and pesticides, it can be a bunch of different items. Now, there are over 53 herbicides and pesticides that have been labeled as known carcinogens. So you could be getting traditional, conventional vegetables from the grocery store, and it could be causing a cancer or a cancer to form inside your body. So environmental toxins are so super important. One of the things that you want to focus on is the less ingredients, the better. I had this lady that was in this week, and she was coming to see us from a distance, and what ended up happening, we were doing some special testing on her, and I said, you know what, this doesn't make sense what's showing up on here. What did you consume here recently? Well, I had the quinoa broth bowl from Panera, which is supposed to be a healthier option. So I said, you know what, let's take a look at this. So we looked at the ingredients that were in this quinoa broth bowl, and I kid you not, a single-spaced list this long of all the ingredients in this 390 calorie broth bowl for this quinoa thing that someone thought was supposedly healthy. When you really look into it, there's a whole bunch of ingredients that the body ends up having to detoxify. So our livers are overstressed, over-toxic, and there's some really important things that continue to cause stress to your liver that we're going to discuss here over the course of this program and what you can do about it. Now, Dr. Kaysen, what are some important things when it comes to detoxification?
Now, you might be thinking, well, how do I know if I need to detoxify? And what I want to do is I want to take a little quiz right now. So my question is, how toxic is your body right now? Some of the things you might experience right now would be dizziness or fogginess during the day. You might have difficulty concentrating. Also, if you have had children, Dr. Anthony was sharing about the liver. After baby number 1, your liver is working extra hard, but especially after baby number 2, your liver is being compromised because of how it's working to help to support that healthy baby. Another question would be is, do you have stiffness in your joints or cracking in your joints? Do you have tenderness in your muscles, especially after exercising, or just that dull sensation that you're always having that discomfort or tenderness in your body? Another question I might ask you is, do you have different spots on your skin? Whether it is bronzing on the left cheek, which is a common signal for liver compromise, but also eczema, psoriasis, especially with the transition of the seasons. Do you have dryness or itching or what we call cherry hemangiomas, which are those red dots that you could have on your breast or on your abdomen? Also, another thing that you might want to consider with detoxification is, have you been trying to lose weight for a period of time and you're just not able to get to that next level of weight loss, and you might be eating right and exercising? The key thing that could be stopping you is that liver compromise, and now more than ever we're seeing on our digital films, the liver should not be below that lowest rib. We're able to see on x-ray that livers are now into the pelvis because of being extra stressed, but what we call a fatty liver. And we're seeing this more commonly in young girls even, because they are addicted to sugar and other things. And I know, Dr. Bob, I'm going to have you share about sugar in a moment. But detoxification, I want you to rethink about it. It's not just if you're being exposed to toxins, because we're exposed to toxins every day. It's thoughts, traumas, and other things, foods that you could be putting into your body. And this isn't just for people that want to lose weight. It's for people that want to get healthy, and your digestion and your liver are the key things that you want to work on supporting to make sure that your brain and nervous system are communicating clearly. Dr. Bob.
Well, I'll tell you, you open up a can of worms when it came to this fatty liver, because, you know, I've been practicing since 1978 and have been really fortunate to be ahead of the game, knowing where, as they say, the puck is going. What we have recently learned is we have an epidemic of individuals with fatty livers. This is very serious. And yes, we do see it on our digital films. And I was sharing on the way over here before we were putting the program together, a lady had, her liver was down into her pelvis, just like Dr. Kaysen was saying. What we have noticed, Dr. Kaysen mentioned young girls. This is going to be very interesting for you, so kind of grab onto your seat right now. What we have learned, one of the leading causes of fatty liver, drum roll please, it's fruit. I'll say that again, it's fruit. But you're going to say, well, Dr. Bob, all these doctors and all these healthcare professionals say I need to eat fruit every day. Well, I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this since 1978. I've been involved in natural healthcare since 1974, fruit creates a demand on the liver. The liver has to work harder to process those sugars. So if we have a young girl or a young boy that comes into our office, or a young adult, and they're hormonal, in other words, we're getting all these toxins which have estrogen in them from the environment, we're putting them in our body, our liver has to process those. In the meantime, we are literally addicted to eating fruit, our liver gets enlarged, and then we have spots that show up, tender breast and heavy menses. And Dr. Kaysen briefly mentioned sugar. The average American consumes about 28 teaspoons of sugar every day. Dr. Anthony was sharing the number of processes and metabolic pathways that occur in the liver. So what we're sharing with you, we're not trying to be the bearer of bad news. We're trying to raise the banner up and say, hey, be aware what you're putting in and on your body, because whatever you're putting in and on your body impacts your body. One of the areas that I've noticed, and I want you to start paying attention, I noticed this on newscasts and individuals that don't have makeup on them, is I'm starting to notice a lot of younger people that might have these little brown nevi on their body. Yes, that could be your children, your grandchildren right now. If you see a lot of little brown spots, it's a body signal. It's not a disease. It is a body signal. It's a report card of what's happening inside of you. And the blessing with the three of us is the Lord has blessed us with insight and perception, and we're able to take all these puzzle pieces and put them together. Now we're going to take a short break, and you're going to want to come back. You're going to want to pass this information on, because we're going to give you a strategy of optimal wellness to promote detoxification. We'll be right back. I'm a chiropractor because my goal, my passion is to help people get better without medication.
There's different types of chiropractic. I wanted to be involved in something that was bigger than myself.
Sure, I would say it's been so much more than just seeing those lives transform. It's been being able to be a part of their transformation.
Wellness is a state of mental, social, and physical well-being.
Really, wellness is from the inside out, being able to have your body make the decisions on its own, naturally, without drugs, medications, or surgeries.
We work and strive at addressing each one of those different facets of wellness so that it's really a well-rounded overall approach for an individual.
I think the atmosphere is really very welcoming. I think all three really work well together as a team.
It's much more than you would find somewhere else. The individuality of it, the recommendations, the doctor's expertise.
We do not use a cookie cutter plan. Every person that comes into our office is very unique, and they have specific plans and treatment protocols specific for their findings.
Utilizing our innovative tools and technology, we're able to get the best results and faster, and it's really easy on the practice member, specifically with the thermal scans that we do. By measuring the ambient skin temperature, we're able to measure from each assessment how the pattern's changing.
We offer digital video fluoroscopy, motion films of a person's spine, getting right to the root cause.
From someone that was previously diagnosed with ADHD and was having developmental delays in speech, working with them here and seeing the transformation of them developmentally, other things, attention span, energy, colic, all these things that are improving over a period of time.
So whether it's a little baby that's getting adjusted for the first time, or a mom that's getting adjusted, or an athlete, it's really cool to see what we're able to do and how that can impact their life for the long term.
The two things, chiropractic care and nutrition, go hand in hand, and you really need both components. You can't just say, I'll do whatever I want nutritionally and then just have chiropractic care and Dr. Bob will just fix me. Really, you have to have both going together.
In our wellness store, we offer a variety of different products. They're all professional lines and products that are tried and true. We have many different types of evaluations and assessments that can tell us what supplement is going to be best for one of our practice members here in the office, so that we're just not throwing the dice when it comes to their health.
The Drugless Doctors is very forward-thinking. It's a lot different than anything else that I had ever seen before, so I felt like I was learning something new.
We have information on social media. our website, our blog. We do TV programs, so we're always putting out good quality information, because more often than not I hear from somebody, I never knew that, or I got that information from a magazine or a TV program and I never really knew that that wasn't correct.
So being able to give them simple tools and natural principles that they can be able to empower themselves to make every day, that's really, it's really exciting for me to be able to see people and their changed lifestyles.
Come and join us and participate with natural drugless chiropractic care. Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Dr. Anthony, and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria. We'd like to welcome you back once again to the continuation of the Drugless Doctor and Detoxification. You know, I'm going to just, before I turn this over to Dr. Anthony and Dr. Kaysen, I'm going to ask you a question. Did you have a bowel movement today? You say, what did he say? Did you poop today? If you haven't had at least one bowel movement today, your body is not functioning optimally, because you want to have at least 2 bowel movements. One more question. So when I was engaged in my activities for learning and getting my degree in natural health, I took a class in what we call Ayurvedic medicine. This is medicine based on the Indian principles. This is Indian over in Asia. And they use a term, it's called alma. If you woke up today with a coated, thick, pasty tongue, I'll say that again. You woke up this morning and you're brushing your tongue, you think, oh my gosh, what's going on? And you wake up again tomorrow morning and you have a thick, pasty tongue, you probably are ready to really pay attention to our strategy, because alma is depress and decrease energy in your body, and it's sounding that you're toxic. Dr. Anthony.
Now, this is a detox program that we have designed with the help of Detox Research Corporation. They have some phenomenal products, and the reason why we use Detox Research Corporation is because they don't put any additives into their products. One of the things that we talked about at the very beginning was an environmental factor that could be stressing your liver. Believe it or not, there's many of you that could be having good intentions of doing some sort of detox program with a supplement line, and the additives that are in your supplement are actually affecting your liver negatively. So Detox Research Corporation, they independently test every ingredient that goes into making a supplement. That's why it's so important that you get your supplements from a trusted professional source versus going to a place like GNC or the Vitamin Shop that might have a supplement company that has additives in their products. The average American consumes 142 pounds of additives every year. 142 pounds of additives. That could be in your supplements, that could be in your foods, it could be in packaged foods. So this program is really, really simple. It's something that someone does over the course of 10 days. It's so simple, there's this thing that's called the Bio Detox Packs. The Bio Detox Packs has a bunch of different supplements that are in there. In fact, there's something called ADP, Bromelain Plus, Livitrip, Beta TCP, BioProtect, Optimal EFAs, MCS2. They're all designed in order to promote detoxification in the body. The whole process is taking one detox pack with each of your meals for 10 days. Now, what ends up happening too, there's 2 other products that we have people use. One of the other ones is NutriClear. So just like Bio Detox Packs cleans up the liver, NutriClear cleans up the GI system. This is one of the most common issues that I see with people in the office, is they have improper digestion. NutriClear is designed to help clear out your GI tract and promote healing, because so many people have terrible, terrible digestion. So the other item that goes along with NutriClear is pea protein. Protein's important. The reason why protein's important, it's the building block for all of your tissues in your body. If you're not consuming protein, your body's not rebuilding itself properly. So NutriClear and pea protein, you do a scoop of each of those in the morning and then in the afternoon. So Bio Detox Packs, one with each meal. a scoop of NutriClear and a scoop of pea protein once in the morning, once in the afternoon for 10 days. Now, before we were talking about fatty liver showing up on x-ray, one of the really cool things that we've seen with this program, because some people will say, well, how do I know if I'm detoxifying? We've had people that have had an x-ray taken of their lower spine after their detox program, and their livers have returned back to normal size. So I am seeing this so many more times, is when someone does a detoxification program, it cleans up the liver. Now, let's go back to this topic of sugar. One of the things that's important in what a detox program is designed to do is to get rid of excess sugar that's stored in your liver in the form of glycogen. You might have no idea what I just said and what that means, but your liver stores sugar. If the capacity of sugar in your liver exceeds 100%, it starts dumping sugar into the rest of your body. And it could be a stepping stone for diabetes. Now, in order to detoxify properly, you have to get rid of excess sugar. Not only dietary sugar, but the sugar that's stored in your liver. Now, this is where you become a detective. Start watching the foods that you're putting in your body. Recently, Dr. Case and I were with somebody, and Dr. Case and I had some water. This person decided to get a lemonade, and I was scanning the back of the nutritional facts, and it said 23 grams of sugar on the back of the nutritional facts. But it had 2.5 servings in this one thing of lemonade. So if you figure out the amount of sugar in this one thing of lemonade, that's 57.5 grams of sugar that were in this small container of lemonade. So if you're drinking sugary beverages, they're really taxing your liver. If you're having a challenge losing weight, you probably have a plugged up liver. So the liver is so super important. And one of the things that I want Dr. Kaysen to explore is who should detox and who shouldn't detox.
Now, if you're listening to our detox program right now, you might be thinking, well, when is the best time for me to do a detoxification program? And everyone at the beginning of the year, they want to get healthy, they want to lose weight, they want to be the best they can be. Yes, at the beginning of the year, that's a great time to start out your year with cleaning up the liver, but also other great times would be during the spring and the fall, which works with the natural tides of what's going on in the oceans to help with eliminating all of those items out of your body. Now, there are a couple things that I want to share with the detox program. Someone who may not want to do this detoxification, the 10-day program that we're talking about, would be someone who's pregnant and also someone who's breastfeeding. The reason why is because of working with the liver and the gallbladder. At that period of time, you really want to do it post breastfeeding so that you can be 100% with those nutrients, because whatever you put in your body, especially during pregnancy and breastfeeding, goes directly into that baby. Another thing that you wouldn't want to do is if you are taking any kind of blood thinners, you necessarily wouldn't want to be doing this specific detoxification program because of the medications and the side effects that it could actually cause some extra distress in your body. Now, I know, Dr. Bob, we were talking about environmental factors, sugars. What are a couple other things that people could be experiencing maybe that would be a good body signal that they might want to consider doing a detox?
You know, I want to just make sure that everybody can see these products. We have the NutriClear, the pea protein, and the bio-detoxification pack. So these are really important, and I know that Dr. Anthony and Dr. Kaysen, we see in our practice individuals that have phenomenal results utilizing this system. So I just wanted to make sure that you saw all of that. Anytime that somebody comes into our practice and has any kind of skin lesion, rather it be like Dr. Kaysen said, psoriasis or eczema, and we see this a lot in teenagers, it's acne. But we'll have adults that'll come into the office